Hi there, my name is Kendrick, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my experience traveling to Lençóis Maranhenses in Brazil, which has been my bucket list travel destination for the longest time since seeing it on TV. Now, my journey to Lençóis Maranhenses actually started when me and Karen went to Sao Paulo first, and from Sao Paulo, we would end up flying to São Luís, where we need to be at in order to go to Lençóis Maranhenses. So in Sao Paulo, we decided to stay in a hotel called Mercure. We ate some food in some local eatery places. Unfortunately, the food was just okay. Sao Paulo did feel a little bit sketchy, but we weren't staying there for too long, so it wasn't a big deal. Now, I did lose my bag in the airplane upon arriving in Brazil. Luckily for me, they managed to find my bag. However, they lost my glasses. So for the remainder of my trip, I had to use my contact lenses and I couldn't take them off because I didn't have my glasses with me. The next day, me and Karen flew from Sao Paulo to São Luís with LATAM Airlines. We did use our British Airways Avios to book this flight to save us some money. Before flying to São Luís, we did make a booking with an accommodation in the town of Maranhenses, where we need to go upon landing in São Luís, which is roughly 3 to 4 hours away from that city. That is the launching point for Lençóis Maranhenses. This accommodation costs around $85 Canadian for one night, and the owner of this accommodation gave us their phone number after making a booking through booking.com. We inquired on transportation from São Luís to Maranhenses and back again to São Luís to fly back to Sao Paulo. So basically, we were quoted around $210 Canadian for both me and Karen, and this includes a tour to Lençóis Maranhenses as well as a shared transportation going from São Luís all the way to Maranhenses, and then a private transfer from Maranhenses back to São Luís again. I would say that the owner of this accommodation is the down to business guy. He has no pleasantry whatsoever, a little bit on the colder side, but in terms of efficiency and effectiveness, this guy was the best. He got everything done, and by the time we landed in São Luís, our shared transport was ready to pick us up, and off we started our journey towards Maranhenses. Halfway through our journey to Maranhenses, we did stop at a place to eat. The name of the place that we ate at was called Posada Churrasco do Portal, and the food there was quite delicious. It was quite yummy, and after we ate there, off we went to Maranhenses to get ourselves settled in our accommodation. Upon arriving in this town, me and Karen did take the time to explore this place. It's a quite small place, but a lot of restaurants by the waterfront was quite expensive, so we decided not to eat there. It was still a good place to go for a walk. Definitely a very nice place for couples to go on a romantic stroll. And once it was getting close to the evening, me and Karen went to some local eatery to eat some delicious fruit salad and had some coconuts as well before heading back to our accommodation to also admire how nice the courtyard is in the accommodation itself. Now, there was a cockroach in our accommodation, but I guess it can't be helped because you are in this tropical place. The next day, our journey to Lençóis Maranhenses started when the tour company came to pick us up in one of those safari-looking vehicles, and our journey actually started by taking a ferry across this river where we would then go towards this famous, beautiful place on Earth. I would say by the time we arrived to Lençóis Maranhenses itself, I was blown away. This place definitely lives up to the hype. If anything, it's severely underrated because you don't hear people going to this place, and I don't see it being advertised to foreigners as much, so most of the tourists that went there was actually the locals. Me and Karen started our little adventure here by going on a hike up and down on the dunes, which was super cool. I absolutely loved it. I would totally go back here, even though it was so hard to get here, but maybe not anytime soon because it was definitely a challenge to get to Lençóis Maranhenses. We also took the time to swim at the lagoons before needing to head back to the safari vehicle to go grab lunch. I did feel like I was starting to get sick though at this point, and I had this sudden uncomfortable feeling in my neck, which actually came true because by the next day I was full on sick. For lunch, we ended up driving to this village in the Lençóis Maranhenses area. It was so funny because they take credit cards in this small village, which is so ironic because you're in the middle of nowhere, but then your credit cards still work. And we ate some delicious seafood there. It was absolutely yummy before continuing into the second part of our trip, which is this lookout point of the beautiful Lençóis Maranhenses. I feel a little bit conflicted for the second part of my trip here, however, because I did bring my drone with me and my drone wouldn't fly, which was so annoying. I was having technical difficulties and I did my best to enjoy this place, but I really wanted to fly my drone, and that's what I really wanted to do, get this amazing, beautiful drone shot of this alien landscape, and I wasn't able to do it, and I was so choked. So as you can see, by the time I came back to Canada, I sold my drone right away because I was so pissed off that my drone wasn't working. After the tour was finished,
Can you imagine everybody trying to come down here?
Exactly, that's why I didn't want to go wait until those people. It's gonna be horrible later.
we crossed over the river once again back to our accommodation, in which case the private transfer took us back to Sao Luis. We stayed at an airport hotel, and I think it was called Hotel Santos Dumont Aeropuerto, and it cost about 251 reales or $61 Canadian at the time, and it was a pretty solid hotel, especially because it came with a shuttle that would take you to the airport. So it was just enough for me and Karen to get a little bit of sleep before getting up super early in the morning to head to the airport and fly back to Sao Paulo. And upon arriving at Sao Paulo, I was trying to figure out the situation with my glasses. Apparently the airline couldn't find the glasses, and so I was SOL in this situation. However, with that being said, I would love to go back to Lençóis Maranhenses one day again, and I think if I wanted to do it properly, I would have to do like a multi-day trek of this amazing place. So my biggest regret of going to Lençóis Maranhenses is not doing the trek. It was still worth it though, and I got to see it with my girlfriend. It has been in our bucket list, so definitely a worthwhile destination, and I recommend anyone who goes to Brazil to definitely check out Lençóis Maranhenses. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.